used to seeing here in America. It really looked third world.
Most of our livestock was kept in better conditions than the children.
This is not the time for you to argue your case. Count 5, count 7, count 12, count 17. Each of those felonies are the second degree.
The children were kept in a roughly 12 by 12 area. It seems like is where they've spent the most of the last 4 years.
Pure evil. Those were the words used to describe what was happening behind closed doors at a home in Vinton County.
4 suspects are facing serious charges now after 16 children were discovered in what authorities call a house of horrors. Sheriff's deputies searched that home on Tuesday, finding kids covered in feces, urine, and filth, held in a 12 by 12 room for 4 years. Detectives say some of them were so ill they were close to dying.
We have team coverage of this unprecedented investigation rattling a small town and beyond tonight. Chief Investigator Lisa Rontala is digging into how the family kept these children hidden there for years. First, we begin with Annabelle Kinney, who talked with neighbors living doors down from this horrific scene.
This is the home where the 16 children were being kept. Neighbors that live just across the street say if they would have known what was happening, they would have jumped in to help.
It's disgusting, and I didn't sleep a whole lot last night, and I prayed a whole lot that that all them kids get better.
It looked like something out of a third world country. That's how Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson described the conditions inside the home where investigators say 16 children were being kept.
Just almost beyond comprehension that this stuff can happen in our country, and that it can happen in a house at the hands of people who are in charge of taking care of kids.
Wilson says 7 of the kids were sent to Columbus area hospitals on Tuesday. Josh Odell says he can see the backyard of the home where police say the kids were being kept and hidden.
We have a little girl ourselves, so it immediately alarmed me like there's some very bad people that was just right there.
He says in his 5 years of living there, he's never seen any children and wants more answers.
Did they give birth at the hospital to all these kids? Where's those records? And something that struck me is that these people are not from around here.
Officials say the children were not enrolled in school. The Vinton County Sheriff says due to the children being isolated and some children being developmentally disabled, it has impacted the investigation.
It's one of the investigative challenges we have to face is that they are limited. They can't communicate.
Joseph Stewart is another neighbor that lives next door. He says he's seen the 4 people charged going to Dollar General every once in a while, but never any kids.
Kind of ashamed that they did stuff like that. And after I seen the pictures of their mugshot today, and they look pretty rough.
Odell says the guilt of not knowing is taking a toll on him.
I really hope they all get better. But I mean, it obviously is weighed on my conscience that I wished I could have done something.
Now, investigators say the suspects are the kids' grandmother, grandfather, and father and mother, and that they could have been living in a 12 by 12 room for years. Reporting live in Vinton County, Annabelle Kinney, ABC 6 News.
Annabelle, thank you very much. Investigators say that Vinton County home first hit their radar out of a separate investigation. And that's why they say they executed their first search warrant, and then they found those abused kids.
ABC 6 on your side. Chief Investigator Lisa Rontala spent the afternoon at the courthouse tracking down those search warrants.
Jessica, Mike, this afternoon I spoke with 2 judges, 1 clerk, who tell me here at the courthouse this afternoon, one county judge did tell me he did sign 1 search warrant for that home, which is sealed tonight. A probate judge confirmed he signed a 2nd search warrant, also sealed. Now, a common pleas court judge has the case of a mother, father, grandmother, and grandfather who could face more than 100 years behind bars. Gary Siders Jr. and Sr. facing 17 counts. Elizabeth Siders and mom Christina facing 16.
These are serious allegations, and if you are unsure on what to do, I will enter a not guilty plea for you until you can consult with counsel.
Prosecutors describe the four as mother, grandmother, grandfather, and father, and accuse them of abusing more than a dozen children from 1 year old to 18 years old. The first victim, it shows that they are 18 years old. Why is that a child endangerment charge?
Good question. The young person's mental capacity, she is, we believe, developmentally disabled.
They tell me the 18-year-old could not spell her own name. The others were also not enrolled in school. Did these children know how to read and write?
Yeah, again, we're working through that right now. Some of these children couldn't even speak.
Investigators say the family kept children hidden for years, avoiding being part of any medical or government records since 2008. How were you able to acquire the dates of birth? Were you able to get hospital records, or were some of these children born inside that home?
There's no evidence that any of the children were born inside that home, although that is something that they were initially investigating.
And investigators said today they are looking into more charges. Part of that investigation, they're trying to determine if any of these children, any of the victims, were sexually assaulted. As for that parallel investigation, investigators say that started about 4 to 6 weeks ago. But as of tonight, we have not found any other charges against these four victims other than child endangerment. Reporting live in Vinton County, I'm Chief Investigator Lisa Rontola.
Lisa, thank you very much. There are still so many questions about all of this tonight. We are trying to get answers about all these things. We have requested any 911 calls that led to this investigation, any previous law enforcement runs to that home, and any prior involvement with Children's Services. As we get answers, we will keep you updated.